Hello, welcome to the daily chapter reading of Some of It Was Real, chapter 12. I yawn, then stretch my arms overhead. Time for bed. After brushing my teeth in the bathroom, I change into white flannel pajamas and unbutton the top two buttons in the hope that Thomas will notice. I'm not sure I can actually seduce him, or even if I could go through with it if he takes the bait. But I need options. My reflection in the mirror looks calm except for the eyes. They search for a way out of this mess. I am aware that everything I say and do during a show can be explained away, even Kelly and Rose. My fears find the cracks and rush in. The note I wrote on my arm was pretty ambiguous. What about the song? I can't explain that one. But are the songs and messages nothing more than incredible coincidences combined with the subject's tense desire? Is Thomas right that I'm rationalizing fraud? My reflection in the mirror blurs, like I'm losing definition, beginning to disappear. My heart doubles its beat. No, I'm the real deal and I help people. And if I use research when I can't make a connection, it doesn't matter as long as my audience believes and gets closure. I'm one of the good guys. When I step out of the bathroom, Thomas is hunched over his backpack. He absent-mindedly pushes a lock of hair from his eyes. For a split second, I see the person, not the adversary. He's cute, a little awkward, which I'm usually drawn to. We have to sidestep so he can get into the bathroom. I make sure our hips touch. He instantly draws back like I'm poison. Moose snuggles beside me on the couch as we listen to rustles punctuated by thumps and curses. Thomas is way too big to get changed in the tiny bathroom. I'm glad it's uncomfortable. He comes out in a t-shirt and plaid boxers. He has lean, muscular legs, a runner or cyclist. There's a small tattoo on the inside of his right arm. TDH. I would have put money against him being the type for ink. The lower couch serves as the bottom bunk. The upper bunk is a plank released from above the couch with a thin plastic mattress. The train provides cotton sheets and comforters. I'm the top bunk, Thomas asks, unless you want to sleep with my dog. The look of concern on his face makes me laugh. Moose growls when Thomas stands on the bottom of my bed to make his own, then hoists his lanky frame up. Good dog. He bangs his head on the ceiling. Shit. I hand Chris up to him before she can make a leap that might end badly, then slide into bed. Moose settles at my feet, curling into an impossibly small ball. His breath slows, then turns into snores. Just so you know, that's not me. If I have to get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, will Moose bite my leg? Not sure. The sky through the compartment's window is a midnight blue, blanket dotted with stars. We must be in Northern California by now, beyond light pollution. On summer nights, when I was a kid, I'd lay in the hammock on the back deck, wonder if my real parents ever looked down from heaven. If I saw a shooting star, I thought it was a message that they were watching over me. A star falls, its silver tail scraping along the sky's dark blue fabric. I close my eyes and the shimmer remains on my lids for a few seconds, then fades away. The train rocks, Moose snores, there's an occasional squeak of wheels on rails. Thomas is quiet for so long that I start to think he's asleep. Have your abilities been the same since childhood? Thomas finally asks. My nerves flicker a yellow alert. Like I say in my origin story, I didn't know of my abilities until San Francisco. How is that possible? I don't know. Every psychic has an origin story when their gift appears. So as a kid, you never knew if the telephone was going to ring, when someone was sick or died, where to find misplaced car keys or a lost dog. A memory creeps forward. Icy water stipples goose flesh. A shiver wrings my spine. I didn't grow up in the kind of house where magical thinking was encouraged. Early to bed, early to rise, get your chores done, team sports, church once, sometimes twice a week, and only mom-approved TV shows and movies. Hard to believe, Thomas presses. His relentless questions make me feel like roadkill getting picked apart by vultures. I roll onto my side, curl up, arms around my legs. I get it. You don't believe anything I say. You lied about Katie. So did you. Thomas is silent. I didn't get anything from the wedding ring you gave me, like it never been worn. So I built a bridge, hoping to get to the other side to help you. I borrowed the engagement ring from a jeweler. The unfairness makes my skin burn. And you're surprised I couldn't use it effectively? Whatever you need to tell yourself. The photographs, the ones from Disneyland? My boss, Annie. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Thomas scoffs. You don't exactly stand on moral high ground. I swing out of bed, use the edge of the top bunk to haul myself inches from his face. Why do you hate me? He recoils. In the moonlight, his eyes are the dark blue-green of the deep sea, where the most dangerous predators hunt. Moose presses against my thigh. His low growl vibrates. Maybe he would eat Thomas's leg. Thomas tries to sit up, bumps his head, swears under his breath, then manages to get his elbow up, rests his head awkwardly and an open palm. I don't hate you. Liar. If you want the truth, then have the courtesy to tell it. I slide back down, burrow beneath my covers, heart pounding. Silence stretches taut. Thomas finally asks, what do you want to know? The wedding band you wore. It wasn't new. It had a history. How do you know? It was worn, scratched. There's a man, he says, to tell her she was right about the rain. It belonged to the man who pushed forward, who wanted to apologize about the rain. Thomas clears his throat. It was my father's, but you already know that. Suddenly you believe? Not likely. You had enough time to dive into my past before we met at the station. All I know is that you grew up in Portland and your job history. My father died in a car accident when I was 11. Was it raining? Yes. But that means nothing. Plenty of people die in the rain. His car skidded on an old bridge, broke through guardrails. He was killed when it struck the water. For the past 21 years, my mother has been trying to contact him on the other side. She's blown through all her savings. I was right. This is personal. The younger spirit with the leather journal? I told you, no idea. I don't need to see Thomas's face to tell he's lying. Hope, dormant for much of our conversations, pads out of its cave, sniffs the air. Find out why. Use it. I don't hate you, Sylvie. I hate what you do. I help people. Have you ever considered that by giving the easy answers people want, you're stealing their chance to come to terms with loss, grief, and themselves? Have you ever considered that you're the vampire? You tear people's lives apart for a story, and you don't care about who you hurt in that process. And FYI, I hate what you do too. I beckon Moose, wrap my arms around him, follow the rhythm of his breathing, and summon sleep. I'm a little kid standing on a street that's tree-lined, leaves the size of dinner plates painted brilliant shades of orange and gold. Ornamental fill bark islands, red geranium edge manicured lawns. The air is warm and sweet with the scent of the white roses planted in front of a forest green bungalow. I walk on. Around the corner, there's a second floor addition being built on the bones of a 70s style shingled ranch house. This street is dotted with smaller homes. I hesitate, then take a tentative step, then another. I pass the second house on the right. Boone, a dog with floppy red ears, stands behind a chain link fence, tail between his legs. An invisible hand in the small of my back pushes me on. The third house on the left is where the Baileys live. Their oldest daughter babysits. The fourth home is to Vince. The fourth is home to Vince and Ted, who just got married. Fifth on the right is the Haycoxes. I need to stop. Another step, another. Stop. I sit up fast, heart thumping, and peer into the dark to get my bearings. Thomas hangs down over my bunk, so close I can smell the mint of his toothpaste. What? You okay? I'm fine. I roll my back to him. He returns to his bunk, bumps his head, swears, then settles. My pulse slows, but I'm uneasy. I've had the same dream before. It started when I moved to San Francisco, but I'd never continued down that street and can't shake the feeling that there is something waiting at the end of it, something unspeakable.